So I decided I would like to do a reading. uh, how about we do a reading for, I like to do the signs, but I almost feel like collective reads can reach more. You know what I mean? Because I feel we're all connected anyway in some degree. Everyone has their unique storyline, but I think energetically speaking, we have this same like up and down emotions, experiences, just in different areas. And then I'm just basically drawing out the most prominent energy I'm seeing and noticing. So maybe we'll just stick to the collective. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just stick to the collective read. And then I can point out any signs that I see. I'm just shuffling right now. Can't believe that we're almost hitting July. It's crazy. I feel like the time is, I'm always saying this. I know probably everybody is saying the same thing. Time is going by so fast. Well, because it really is. And I don't think it's just because of aging. I really think that something is a little off. Okay, that's just how I feel about it. There's a lot going on up in the sky. There's a lot going on with our sun's activity. There's a lot going on in the world. And Mother Earth is due to have a shift soon. She is due for one. She's had big shifts in the past. Why wouldn't she have one now? Or at least soon. Of course, it's not something to dwell on, but it's always good to be aware, right? At least be aware of it. All right, Spirit, tell us what we need to hear right now the most. What is the most prominent message, storyline? Collective, what is going on? Okay. All right. Let's see what the energy says today. What's going on right now? What's happening? And 3 cards. All right. Judgment is the first one out. King of Wands and the 7 of Swords. Wow. You know the first thing that is coming to my mind right now? This is the most prominent energy in the collective right now. Not just in personal lives, but around the globe. There's a lot of backstabbing going on. 7 of Swords. People acting two-faced for their own selfish gains. It's a choice between. You see how there is King of Wands in the middle. This can represent anyone, right? whether it is someone else or whether you feel it within yourself, within shadow work that you're going through. So this is like an internal battle maybe. But we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Judgment card with the King of Wands in the middle. And I just see that there is this choice between living through something that is a mask of the ego, or to find some kind of, to redeem yourself in a way, to right your wrongs. Judgment, right your wrongs. Because it is that time. To face things. Not to look at it in a judgmental way, but to look at it in a way to where you want to find why it even got to this point in the first place. Because how do you fix things? How do we really address our shadow? How do we change ourselves for the better? It's by looking ourselves, our shadows, dead straight in the face and admitting to our wrongs. Right? Trust me. That's what I've been doing with myself personally. It's not easy. It's not fun. You can easily fall into this, okay, well, I might as well give up because I'm just a bad person and I'm never going to be a good person. You could easily fall into that. But see, that's the trap. That's the trap that continues the cycle of self-sabotage. It continues the cycle of self-hate and not rising above. There has to be a way to get out of that vicious cycle, right? The only way to do it is to look at your shadow and say, okay, why are you being this way? A lot of times it is connected to something else that you just didn't want to look at. Usually has something to do with fears, things that are rooted in the past, things that are connected to someone else that was like this to you. And so then you learned something from that, and you start to feel like the world, that's what it is, so therefore I have to be that way too. But it's not true, because if you're lucky enough, you'll come across a person who you might at first think is like that because it's your fear talking. Then later on you realize, wow, they were not that. But a lot of times you end up losing those people, right? Then you realize after the fact that, damn, they were actually a good person, and I wasn't acting right. Those are the kinds of things that I'm seeing in these first three cards. And like I said, I've been there. And I still continue to work through shadows that I have. You know, but I mean, I think that it's important though for us to constantly remind each other that we're not born bad. We're not born evil. So if you are on that shadow journey, if this is your current situation, just don't give up and learn to forgive yourself. It's going to take time. And then also just do your best to prevent things like that happening. Oh my gosh. the Lovers card. This could be something to do with the relationship as well. I just saw the Lovers card. I don't know why I'm shuffling right now, but I just decided to shuffle again. I'm just letting my body do what it needs to do, okay? So, yeah. And I like to basically just say everything I'm doing verbally because Gemini moon. Okay. Let's look at what is the issue with this situation? Four of Wands. What's the issue? What's the root of it? Okay. Four of Wands, Ace of Wands, Eight of Cups. The root. So, the root of this so I do get self-sabotage vibes from this. Walking away from something good. Maybe someone doesn't believe they deserve good things because that's what they were taught at a young age. Perhaps there's this inner record playing that says nothing good lasts forever, so why try? Why allow it to even happen in the first place? Or maybe we feel that we're not deserving of that. Maybe, but this could also be something too. Someone was like a lighthouse, right? Showing all the things that you needed to look at within yourself. Maybe this is someone else and you were that lighthouse for someone. Maybe you were that lighthouse that guided this person to look within themselves. There was a role that you played in their life to help wake them up to certain things they wouldn't have looked at before. We have the Ace of Wands, where there's that new start, there's that inspiration, there's that fire, that excitement. But then, right after that, we have the Eight of Cups. So quickly, it just all ended from something brand new, refreshing, and then already just withering away. I mean, this could also talk about a Uranian relationship. And when I say that, I mean like if you have synastry with someone where there's a lot of like Uranus aspects to each other's Uranus and, you know, Venus or whatever, that's usually what it looks like. So it's another thing too. It's very stop and go. It's very on and off. It's unpredictable in nature. You never really know where it's going. And that's actually in itself, that is terrifying. That almost triggers wounds within both people of abandonment, of trauma, of being left behind, of being not good enough because of that stop and go. And what's very interesting is that both people are usually not aware of it. They're not even aware that they're both doing this. And they're not intentionally doing it. That's just the way that the relationship plays out based off of synastry aspects and also just the role that they're playing in each other's lives. I've kind of looked into Uranian types of aspects in synastry, And some say that that it's short-lived, obviously, but it's not like, it's not something that can completely stop, but it just like comes in and out of nowhere, like throughout life. And then there's others where I've heard that it literally is just, you know, one incident and then it's gone. But it just really depends on how many contacts you have in the chart. Regardless, they trigger some abandonment wounds a lot of the times. Could also represent a friendship though too, if this is not love related, because I don't really see any cups here. I see swords, I see wands, and then I do have the 8 of cups here. But it could also be like a business partnership, a friendship, family, if it's not love related. In and out kind of stuff. Okay. All right, so what is the advice for this then, in this situation? For those who are in this situation currently, or dealing with a situation like this, what is the advice for this? Tell me 3 cards what the advice for this situation is. That's it. Wow. This could be a friendship. This could be a friendship. I have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. That's the advice. But if we look at the suits and what they mean, Queen of Swords represents clarity, being straight to the point, being very clear about, like both people have to come from a point of clarity and really talk it out, be honest with each other, up front with no fear, right? But diplomatic, not coming from the ego. It's not reversed, it's upright. And then the Queen of Pentacles is one that brings in that earthy energy, grounding it. So you are with clarity and you're grounding each other, coming from the same level, right? Like meeting on the same level. No one's above the other. Both in their queen energy. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. You're both in this on the same level. That's really what I'm seeing that symbol as. The Page of Cups is like that, whether it's an apology or reaching out and trying to kind of offer that olive branch. Now, I don't know the specific situation for who I'm reading for, but it really depends on the particular circumstance that it is as to who reaches out. But to be quite honest with you, it really doesn't matter. It could be both that have the opportunity to do so. It's just, the question is who's going to do it first. That's what it really comes down to. Now, if this is not involving a friendship, I am going back to the beginning, and we do have a king here. This is the King of Wands, right, in the current situation. This could also speak towards a man getting in the middle of 2 friends, to put it very simply. Maybe there's a situation where somebody got in between a relationship that was not worth allowing it to break up a friendship, right? That could be it. But if it's concerning this man, I really get more of the vibe of just Not letting things get in the way of, and it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, let me just explain something. There's some relationships that come into our lives. There's people that we meet. There's certain special people, unique people, souls that come into our lives that are unlike anybody else. No one can replicate their soul. And you know it. You know it in your heart. You're never going to meet anybody like them again. Ugh, I don't want to get all emotional, but I'm feeling this read. There are certain people that we meet. It's like, why would you let that go to waste? You know, why would you allow that to happen? It's important to recognize, like, what is worth, like, letting go away. If it's special, why would you just let it fall off? Why let things get in the way of that? Whether it's fears or pains, traumas, what have you. If there's a way to work things out to where something isn't completely lost forever, we should do our best to, and it takes both, it takes two, right? It won't work if it's just one person. You can't do all the work by yourself. Both people have to be willing to make it work. Whatever adjustments need to be made, and then build slowly upon that over time. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be just, oh, happy and everything's good and it all works out. It's going to be a process. But as long as both people know that they are important to one another, they can make it work. That's kind of how I'm seeing this. But yeah, I'm really seeing that someone does want to extend that olive branch, and I think it's definitely worth doing. I'm going to pull a couple of these Lenormand cards here. A lot of time, oh, not a lot of times, sometimes, okay, hopefully not a lot of times, but sometimes people, you know, they can, the shadow side comes out unconsciously. That's the thing about the shadow. It's a trickster, you know. We don't really know when it wants to appear. If we're not aware of it, it will come out, and we have to keep it in check. The bear, the tree, the child. Wow, those are, all three of those cards are great. Okay, so I'm going to read the bear card first. Number 15. This is the card of courage, resilience, strength, and responsibility. Personal meanings: strength, nobility, and courage. Meanings in love: generous, strong, noble partner, strong feelings, and stable family relationships. Meanings in the field of finance: a large number of responsibilities may frighten you, but do not be afraid. The time has come for global changes. Oh, cute. Look at the baby bear on the mother bear's back. That's so cute. And then we have the tree, number 5. Wood. This is the card of vitality, health, prosperity, and confidence. Personal meanings: good health, faith in yourself and your strengths, the desire to grow and move forward. Meanings in love: stable partner, more stability in there, fertility, proposal to start a family. Meanings in the field of finance: stable income, growth, abundance, persistent overcoming of all crises. Now that is a beautiful card. Consistent overcoming of all crises. There's also a ship in the background. Look at that. It's like this is a journey. This is a long journey, and it's okay to just, you know, this is the part of life. But as long as you know within yourself What makes you feel most safe within you, and you know who you are, know thyself. It doesn't matter where it takes you. All right, then the last card is the Child, number 13. This is the card of childish enthusiasm, happiness and pregnancy, personal meanings, joy, fullness, naivete, bright plans for the future, meanings in love, sincere feelings, falling in love, joy from spending time together, meeting with family, children, return of children, news about pregnancy and pregnancy planning, meanings in the field of finance, starting a new project, not taking obligations and finances seriously. So you guys can apply that however you like. I have numbers 15, 5, and 13. And then we also have number 10, 7, and the letter J. Also, you know, whatever letters we have here, and bear, B-E-A-R, child, C-H-I-L-D, and tree, T-R-E-E. Any kind of signs that you guys need, those are the ones there. So anyways, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you liked it. Peace out.